Hey there. Welcome to the Pine Island Experience podcast. I'm Joanna Anderson with my husband, Trygve. Each of our episodes will be conversations with fellow Pine Islanders.
The goal of our podcast is to share with you our experiences, what we have found to be fun, and what makes the Pine Island experience so unique.
It's when you make people feel good. Yeah, it's not that, I did 12 haircuts today. It isn't, because at the end of the day, my knee swells up and it's hurting walking down this. So that's not what makes me feel best, is how much work I can do in a day. It's making people feel good about themselves. Yeah.
Christine Karow of Christine Karow Hair Design and Massage has been helping Pine Islanders feel confident, cared for, and connected for many years. Her beautiful salon is filled with creativity, warmth, local artwork, and a talented team of stylists and massage therapists who truly care about people. And now, here's Christine. We're fortunate to have Christine Karow from Christine Karow Hair Designs and Massage here today. Your shop is amazing. It's a wellness retreat. You're making people beautiful and comforting them and watching them go through life. You're offering massages too. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We always start in the beginning where we want to know where you came from, where you were born, where you grew up to how did you end up here on Pine Island?
Grew up in Wisconsin, Bristol, Wisconsin, and moved to Twin Lakes area, kind of by Lake Geneva. I wanted to be a hairdresser since I was in high school, but I didn't. I waited. I was talked out of it. And later on, when I met my husband now, he said, "What have you always wanted to do?" I always wanted to do hair. And he said, "Well, sign up. And when we get back from our honeymoon, you can start beauty school." So I did. I went into interior design before that, and then I dropped out. But nonetheless, yeah, we ended up here because my husband's job brought us down here. The family, they had a family business in 2008, and it fell apart with the economy. And so I wanted to stay there and finish my daughter's high school out and then move down. So he was in Homestead at the Turkey Point nuclear power plant. So every 6 weeks we would fly down, visit for the weekend, come back until she was done with high school, which was probably, 6 or 7 months that we did that, and then moved to Cape Coral. He didn't want to be on that side of the state. It was just too busy. So my mom and my grandma would winter in Punta Gorda. So we're a little bit familiar with that area, but there was a Paul Mitchell school in Fort Myers. So I called them and talked to them, and they said, "Yes, whenever you're ready, get your Florida license, and then when you're ready, come on over." I started there, and that's like 45 minutes away, at least from Cape Coral. So that drive got a bit much. And then they'd switch me to second shift. So then I'd get off work at 10 o'clock driving from Alico Road. Honestly, just working with the students wasn't my jam. I wanted to work behind the chair again, but it was an open door. It was a stepping stone, get my feet on the ground here.
And all your experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I started out down in St. James at Bob and Annie's. That's where Lena was. Lena Lippman was retiring, and I stepped in there. I worked with her for probably a month before she actually retired. So then I could meet people. I could see how she worked. And that's how it all started. And so I was there for a year, and then I had wanted to rent my own chair. I wanted to rent a chair, and I told her that right up front. And she said, "Oh, we can do that after a year." A year came and went, and she said, "Oh, I can't afford to do that." And I said, "Well, then I'm going to be renting a spot right down the street. And it's where Center of Attention is now. It was in the back room, but it wasn't Center of Attention. They were actually where I'm at right now. It's funny how we've switched.
Comes around full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was a spa there. Was it Bella's Secret Island Spa? Anyway, I rented a room in the back. It was a little spot in the back. And so I was there for a year. And then I moved. It was so small. But then I moved over by the water company, Rod's building there with the tile on one end, and I was on the other end. So I was there for 3 years. And then after that, I moved into Jay Johnson's building, Island Exchange building. And I've been there for 8 years. And now I have 2 massage therapists and 2 other hairdressers there.
And you've stayed there
For 8 years, yeah. Been there 8 years, yeah.
What do you think drew you into wanting to do hair? Do you remember when you first, were you a child? Were you?
Well, in high school, I was very artsy. Always got A in arts and C in everything else.
So you're a creative.
Yeah, I'm a left-handed person
Oh, yeah.
too. I don't know. I think that has something to do with it too.
When somebody walks into your beautiful salon, what do you want them to feel?
Peaceful, yeah, at ease, comfortable. I don't have my phone ringing. My phone is always on silent, and I have my calls forwarded to my cell phone, voice to text, so I can always see that. But you're not going to hear my phone ringing at the salon.
Did you want to make any big changes on your first day then when you finally got in there and it was all yours? Or did you want to leave it like it was? Or?
Oh, no, it had been empty there for like 5 years.
Oh, wow.
It had been empty. Yeah. And Jay kept bugging me. I'd cut his hair and, well, you should come over to my place, rent my place. And I said, Jay, I have a lease. I can't just, but he kept bugging me. And it is a good spot. It's a really good spot. It's got a lot of foot traffic there, but there was a lot of work to be done. I think there was even carpeting in there that we took out.
Well, that was your creative side then.
Oh,
You could design it the way you wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
That must have taken a while.
It did.
What do you remember about those weeks that you spent with Lena, watching her with her customers?
Well, she had a really good rapport with everybody. She's so matter of fact. She's from New Jersey. And I do her hair to this day. They come, her and Lena and Leroy Lipman, they come from Fort Myers, and she'll get her hair done, and Leroy will come out here. He's still involved in the Elks Club. So he'll socialize while she gets her hair done.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, people liked her a lot.
Well, obviously, she liked it here a lot,
Yeah.
for her to come back. Was there a moment when you realized Pine Island felt a little different than other places?
Well, yeah, pretty much right away. That's why I wanted to, move out here, build a house. And yeah, the whole community is different. I mean, I'm more connected out here, probably just because of my work, than I am even in Cape Coral. It's not the same. They just don't have the community. There's a lot of renters. Guy lives next to me, owns his house, but everyone else, they are renters. I got a new renter that moved in next to me, and she actually works at Blue Dog, so I feel a little more connected.
Why do you think your salon becomes such a trusted space? Think it's your team and...
Yeah, I mean, it started out with just me, and then I had a second girl, and then I had 3, and then it moved, Yeah, you just connect with people. You're with them in the good times and the bad.
And you just listen to them and help them. You make them feel better, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you help them. I mean, it goes in hand too. When you look good, you feel better. When I first moved here, on my days off, when I was working at the beauty school, I would go over to the cancer. What was it? It was a cancer center over by Summerlin Road by the Broadway Palm. It was in the back. And they had this program that was Look Good to Feel Better program. And these women would all come and get together. And we would show them how to draw their eyebrows on, how to put makeup on, because they would lose their eyebrows and stuff, and their hair. And we'd show them how to do head wraps and things like that. Everything was donated. Makeup was donated. But it was a great space for people that were going through that to talk to each other and see what do you do about this or that. And that I actually met Vonnie Bixby. You know Vonnie? She passed away recently. But I met her there first, and she was from the island. That's why I thought maybe you knew her. But she was going through cancer for a long time,
Aw.
but had such a good attitude.
And it was just a great support group, I can
Yeah.
imagine, where they could ask each other and find out.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, you help people get through.
What's it felt like to win Best of Pine Island several times for the salon?
Humbling. Yeah.
That's quite an honor.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not that person that, I don't want to be on the stage. I don't want to be front and center. I'm just not that. I don't need to be. That's not why I'm here. It's not what I do. Yeah. It's more about helping, being there for people. Yeah. It's like just recently I had a client who lost her husband. And so she was making a trek out to Colorado to do the burial and all that. Also had a lady who just put her husband in hospice.
Bad. That's too bad. But
Yeah.
you could help her.
Yeah, not physically, but, emotionally. Like you take, I don't know what you call that. The emotions, where you take the emotions on, help them feel better. Yeah, get through it.
Adding massage services to the salon, was that something you always dreamed about and then acted on, or something you kind of developed over time?
Yeah, just developed that. I think maybe it was Pam was the first one that asked me while I was still in the other shop about massage. And there actually was space for it. So we insulated the walls and, did the best we could to facilitate that. But yeah, just kind of organically happened. She came in and was looking for a space. And I happened to be relocating. I said, okay, we'll make a space for that. Sure.
Great timing.
Mm-hmm. It was.
So you mentioned being a left-handed creative person. How's that creativity then come out with being behind the chair and helping people with their hairstyles?
Well, I like doing razor cuts. That's probably one of my skills that I've honed over the years. It just helps me be more creative. I can use my other hand too, ambidextrous. I think just using your other side of your brain. As you're using your right side of your brain a little more, I guess that's your creative side. I mean, I enjoy doing color too, but I think the razor cutting is probably more what I do that other people don't do in the shop.
Are those more dramatic cuts, would you say, the razor cuts?
They can be wispy, soft. You can cut without using another tool. You can use it to texturize hair, to make it spiky, wispy. Yeah, you can use one tool to do a lot of things, where if you didn't have that tool, you would be using other shears to do it. So you can use just the one tool and do more with it.
And you enjoy that, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I do.
So I would assume that kind of things come in and out of fashion in hair like they do in other areas. So what's it like to keep up on that? And I guess constant education and somewhat constantly changing demands from your customers?
Things always seem to come back around. Maybe in a little, like the mullet, right? Right? We've seen that come come right back. And we're like, what? Okay, let's call it the boulet now. But it has come back with the kids. That was back in Joe Dirt days, I don't even remember. Was that the 80s maybe that was that? So, they put a little different spin on it. Maybe instead of being, for the kids, the clipper cut, now you can use the razor and you can do little wispies and make it look a little bit different, but it's still, the foundation of it is the same, but you can switch it up a little bit. So you can be more creative that way, taking something old and making it new. But you're always going to have the classic bob.
Yeah.
A
lot of bobs.
That's classic. But you can change it up a little bit.
Did the shag ever come back for women?
Yes.
It did?
Yes. The modern shag. You can make it look a little different with the razor.
What are some do's or don'ts for people in Florida? It's a humid, warmer environment, maybe that you experienced down here as a stylist that you maybe didn't in other areas, or, just out of observation and experience?
Well, when I first moved here, I have a niece that moved here about a year before me in Bradenton. And I said, what do you do? I actually have curly hair. And I said, what's going on down here? What do I need to do? I said, just use more product, more mousse. So, because your hair is going to be curlier than it is in a drier temperature. So it's going to be curlier here than it is in Colorado, where it's dry. Wisconsin, certain times, it's just, there's more humidity here. So it's just going to be curlier. So really, you just need to use more product, So it is different. The humidity, we do probably more blowouts here, more Brazilian blowout smoothing services using its amino acids, and you flat iron it into the hair so that the humidity can't get into the hair. That's the idea with that product. I mean, there is some formaldehyde in those services, so I try to I don't do too many of those, because I, over the years, have gotten very sensitive to chemicals. So in my salon, there'll be a sign that says, please don't use a lot of fragrance or cologne. Yeah, I used to get migraines a lot.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Not anymore, but I'm still sensitive to it. But that we have those kind of products to help. Yeah, definitely more humidity products here than back in Wisconsin.
Now, what is it about Pine Island? You said I think I read where you hope it doesn't change too much. What do you hope never changes?
Well, the green space, for one. That's why the Calusa Land Trust is important. I mean, I see it in Cape Coral. We love those little birds, those little owls, but they keep disappearing. People are building houses, and it's like, do they even have a permit to relocate the owls? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. In the Cape, there was a house not far from us around our block, and on a Sunday, here they come in with the dirt, and they're piling the dirt. We're like, what about the owls that were there? So my husband called Fish and Wildlife, is it? And they came out and they said they actually do have a permit, but they were going to be relocated on Monday. So I think they got a fine or something. But yeah, they're doing things without relocating the animals. But I love seeing the green space, and that out here, and just the community getting together, and, the fundraisers that they do for the people that are in need out here too.
There's a lot of that. It's heartwarming.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of Pine Islanders.
Yeah.
So many organizations.
Yep. Like with Lisa Dents right now.
Yes.
And a lot of fundraisers for that. Yeah.
Why do you think so many people feel so emotionally attached to Pine Island and so connected?
It's just such a sense of community. There's a lot of volunteering going on, and that's where people meet each other. Yeah, in the fundraising, because I get a lot of people coming in asking for, different products, donations for fundraisers to support. So it's a big community of support.
Yeah. Well, I have some light questions for you, not too heavy, but just fun. What's your perfect Pine Island day off? You mentioned you turn off your phone, right?
Well, that's when I'm in the salon.
Oh,
no,
how about when you have a day off, you turn it back on? Phone.
I don't usually answer the phone on my day off, but I will still sometimes return phone calls. Going in my pool, but that's usually in the afternoon because it's running to the beauty supply on the day off, grocery shopping, and but the perfect day off would be just hanging out in the pool. I have a cat, Zeus, whom I got from the shelter. Paws.
Yeah, of course, Paws.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I brought my old cat. I had to put her down, and I was after that Hurricane Irma.
Oh, yeah.
We had left town for that one because that was our first one, and we thought we're never doing that again. That was ridiculous. it's better to stay, just stay put. So I was bringing my cat food there. So if you have any leftover whatever for your cats, I was bringing it there. And that's where I saw Zeus. And yeah, he's
Love
my
at
cat.
first sight.
It was.
Oh.
I said, oh, is this the cat that was in the paper? Yeah. Can I hold him? Oh, yes, you can.
They know you're going out the door with
But
them.
my husband was traveling. And now, he's traveling now again, but he's over on the other coast.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, he was out of state. So I got him. I brought him home. I took a picture of him by the pool. And I sent it to my husband. That's how we found out that I got a new cat.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been in the pool, has he? Zeus?
Once. He was in there once.
See, that happened to us with our cats. Each one fell in once and never again. But it's so funny.
They got to do it once. And that's funny you mentioned that, because one of my clients this week, she showed me a picture of her cat too. She used to live on the island and then she moved off the island. But she showed me a picture of her cat, fell in the pool once.
Never again.
They swim. I don't know why they don't want to go in more.
But they're usually not that uncoordinated. I mean, they're just amazing.
They're probably running because they see something. They see a rabbit or they see something and they run over and they fall in the pool because they've cut the corner. I mean, I've done that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Once.
And then what else do I have? What's your favorite thing about making people feel beautiful?
Probably a transformation.
You can see it in there.
Mm-hmm.
They just light up.
Yes. Yeah.
It must feel good.
And it's not always cutting people's hair off because, if your hair is really long and you feel draggy and you just layer it up or you scrunch it up and they didn't realize they had curl in their hair because it was so long and you layer it up and all of a sudden they have all this curl in their hair.
That amazes them, doesn't it? They had no idea. And then what makes you the happiest at the end of a workday?
Well, it's when you make people feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not that, I did 12 haircuts today.
It's not the volume.
It isn't, because at the end of the day, my knee swells up and it's hurting walking down this. So that's not what makes me feel best, is how much work I can do in a day. It's making people feel good about themselves. Yeah.
Going out with a smile.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
So you've kind of mentioned where you're located, but the address off the top of your head?
10700 Stringfellow Road, Okeelia.
We know the phone is silenced whilst working, but how best to contact you with any questions?
Just call. Good old-fashioned phone call.
Same
That's
thing
the
for
best.
appointments as well?
Yes, but you can book online. So I do tell people, especially if they're out of town, snowbirds too, or if you're thinking about it, it's 9:00 at night. Oh, I meant to call. You can go online to my website, Christine Karow Hair Designs Massage, book an appointment. So it comes through as a notification for me and I can see. So if I know that, oh my gosh, it takes me longer than what I have booked for that person, I will call them and say, hey, I need to move your appointment up a little or down a little bit because I need more time. But that's a great way, is online too. Most of our girls book online as well, massage.
It is wonderful that you have that. It's easier for everybody.
Yeah. Kristen, you do have to call Kristen Holloway
Okay.
to book her because she's not in my she's on the website, but she does her own booking.
And then do you have any social media presence, Facebook, Instagram?
I do have a Facebook, Christine Karow Hair Designs Facebook page. I book, what I do on there is not a lot. I'll do some before and afters on there. And like during COVID, I posted a video on there. So I don't do probably as much as I should do on there, but it's just a lot to keep up with. Yeah, calling is the best.
Was there anything that you wanted to talk about yourself or your business today that we haven't asked you so far?
Really? We tried to keep up. Like I was doing eyebrows for a while, like the microblading of the eyebrows. I had shoulder, not surprised, right? Torn rotator cuff, frozen shoulder on the other side.
Oh.
So I thought, what am I going to do if I can't do hair lifting up my arms? So I started to get into the eyebrows. But now I'm getting out of the eyebrows. It's a lot to keep up with. You have to have the biohazardous waste. You have to have your license, of course, your inspections. It's a lot. Everything has to be dated. It has to be up to date. I mean, they look at your alcohol wipes. Each ink, it's a lot to keep up with, the bookwork of that as well, having people sign forms and such. I mean, massage has to have forms too, but they don't have to have dated, your inks, and everything has to be dated, certain. So it's constant replacing things to have the dates, right? So I've decided by August I'll be done with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're always looking, if there's something new out there, like the tinsel in the hair, that's kind of been out for a while, but we do that too. The hair shows, usually I would go to the Orlando Hair Show. That's every year, but this year I'm going to go see the grandkids in a couple of weeks, and they're in upstate New York, and the hair show is right on the weekend when I'm coming back. I'm like, I just can't do it. Last year I went to Tennessee just for something different. There was in the Smokies, there was a hair show there. So I went there. I used to go to Vegas a lot for hair shows, but now there's they call it behindthechair.com, and they have Behind the Chair University, and you can get a membership, an annual membership, and unlimited videos. So that's what I had been doing. I think during COVID, I probably joined that. So I'm always watching stuff, and there's so much now online to watch with Redken. But right now, I am a surface salon, more organic, with the organic products. When I relocated from my last location, so for the last 8 years, I've used Pulp Riot color, some surface color too. Doesn't have the bad chemicals. There are chemicals in some hair colors that can lead to cancer. It's the PPDs, the polyphenylene diamine, that's in the color. And so I searched out to find color that didn't have it. So if people are reactionary to, they'll say, oh, I have such a reaction to this color, it's probably that chemical that's in it. And you can even just do a test if somebody has an issue. I've done that before. So yeah, I use good products that won't make people break out or have bad reactions.
And what are your hours? I don't think we asked that question.
Typically 9 to 5. I'm off on Mondays.
Okay.
But usually I'd have Julie that would work on Mondays. Thursdays, Tamara's there at 9. But I come in later because I work later for the working people. So I have decided to be open later on Thursdays and work Saturdays. I work most Saturdays, but when working people need to get their hair done, it's after work, So I'm there Thursdays and Saturdays usually.
Well, thank you very, very much.
You're
this
very
was
welcome.
Most enjoyable.
Yeah.
Thanks for making the hike out here. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys, and thank you very much.
We hope you enjoyed our Pine Island Experience podcast. If you have any ideas for us, people to interview, or any comments, please feel free to email them to us at pineislandexperience@gmail.com. That's pineislandexperience, all one word, @gmail.com. Don't forget to like us, and you may subscribe to this podcast using all the major catchers like Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Thanks again for listening, and remember, island life is a constant vacation. We'll see you on the next podcast.